Well, I have a pretty good question. So I live in California right now, and I'm actually older than you, so I'm 29, and I'm trying to figure out like when would be the best time to buy a home. But
Mm-hmm.
just housing prices here are ridiculous. And one thing I know that you're doing is I know you're moving and you're going to Florida eventually to get a house, right?
Mm-hmm.
To live there at a little cheaper rent. I know
Mm-hmm.
one of the things that I would like to do that, but I think for me, I really want to stay close to my parents, and they live in California right now. So I'm trying to figure out a way of what is the best thing I can do. Because right
Mm-hmm.
now, what I'm thinking of is there are like first time buyers programs that
Mm-hmm.
can go up to like 800,000. Like they can like I think 17% they could put down, and then I'll put the 3%. So I was thinking that might be an option
Mm-hmm.
as I get more and more money, and then I could put a little bit more instead of this allow instead of the 3%. So I'm wondering
Mm-hmm.
your ideas of that, and then on top of that, this is probably maybe a separate issue of just what type of books would you recommend in
All
investing?
right. Okay, so let's handle the first issue, which is basically Tommy. My name is Steve. You say you live in Silicon Valley, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. Houses are very expensive here, and I want to stay here because I also want to be close to my parents, right? Sound right?
Yes. Yep.
Okay, so let me ask you a question real quick. What's your income?
Right now I'm making like 60,000, so I'm planning actually I'm getting a paralegal certificate, so I'm hoping to increase that income in the next year or so.
Okay. All right. So let's do the math based on your current income and your current situation. The answer would be when it comes to buying real estate, I follow the 33% rule, which basically means I don't buy a property that's basically more than 33% of my monthly income. So for example, it has to be less than 30% of your income. Basically meaning for example, your mortgage, insurance, taxes, maintenance, even an HOA fee, everything included cannot be more than 33% of your monthly income. On top of that, I recommend anywhere from a 10 to 20% down payment. And I also recommend you get it on a 15-year mortgage. Now, the problem with this plan is that where you live in Silicon Valley, it's going to be very, very difficult to buy a home with that math. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So, what would I do in that case? I would have to go online and look up, for example, a rent versus buy calculator, right? And
Okay.
that will tell me exactly at what point does buying become cheaper than renting. In your case, like what would you say is like the average house price in your area right now where you live?
Yeah, my area specifically, I live in like I know you did this grade of like A through I think D or F. I live in like a C zone, but even here in the C zone, I think the lowest I've seen it probably 550, 600,000.
Yes, look at that. So it's probably gonna be just doing some quick math in my head. Probably gonna be between 5 to 8, maybe 11 years until basically buying a home becomes a lot more better. So my advice right now would be if I want to stay here for a while, I would just rent for now and just basically save a ton of money, save a ton of money, save a ton of money. And when I have enough money to buy a home, if my income is there and I can follow those rules and buy a house in that area, that's fine. I can buy it. But for right now, it sounds like. By the way, what job do you have right now? Like, what do you do?
Oh, so right now I work at a nonprofit law firm, and
Law
I do
firm.
like contracts and deliverables. So we get obviously we do nonprofit, so we have to report back to our funders, and I kind of create the reports through Excel, and they just gather and then yeah give the reports back so that we can continue getting funding.
And you can do that through anywhere. You can do that in Florida. You can do that anywhere.
So right now we because of COVID, we've actually been remote. So yeah, right now I'm at home. I can do it remotely. So I'm
Mm-hmm.
hoping in the future that I will be able to do this remotely, and hopefully
Mm-hmm.
like yeah, move somewhere that's cheaper for a little bit and save more money.
And do they have any locations, for example, in Florida or anything like that, or the only one
No,
location to
no,
have?
no. It's only the location here in Santa Clara County. It's only one location. Yeah.
Okay, but have you looked up jobs in Florida within your field?
No, I haven't yet. Yeah, so that's why I'm getting the paralegal certificate so that
Mm-hmm.
I can get a paralegal, and then once I get that, then I'll be able to have a little bit more, I guess, freedom of where I could go in different
Mm-hmm.
jobs because it just opens up with corporate law firms, family
Mm-hmm.
law, different the county, and then
Mm-hmm.
hopefully that will also increase my income as well.
And do you live with your parents right now, or you live by yourself?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I live with my folks right now because it's just so expensive here.
Yeah. I mean, how much do they charge you to stay there? Like nothing or something?
No, I pay. Yeah, they charge me a little bit. They don't really charge me anything. I just give them money just because I think it's just like I'm Mexican, so it's like a Mexican household. So I clean
Yeah.
up, I buy stuff over time, just doing things. So yeah, like I pay some bills and then I give them some rent. But for more often than not, I'm pretty much saving. So I started investing actually once COVID started, and actually watching your channel in the beginning of COVID. I've been
Mm-hmm.
investing pretty heavily right now, and I think about $30,000 that I've invested so far, and I'm
Mm-hmm.
hoping to increase that. And then hopefully my net worth, I'm trying to get to by the end of this year, maybe like 100,000. I'm like at 50 right now, so I'm
Mm-hmm.
hopefully I can get it up to like 100,000.
Okay. So just to summarize what I said prior, right before we get to the investment part here, if you're gonna
Mm-hmm.
follow the 33% rule on a 15-year mortgage, no more than like 30% of your income you spend on it, you can only spend $1,650 when it comes to a house. That's all you can spend, literally.
Okay.
Now, in buying a house in your area is going to be more difficult. So again, you want to use a rent versus buy calculator to figure out exactly if renting or staying in your mom's house, because that's a lot cheaper. Obviously, you can just be like, hey, I'm going to stay here a while longer, save up a ton of money. That way, when I do buy a home, I'm actually ready to actually buy it.
You've got to stop.